Coming up on today's episode of Airborne Unlimited, TransAsia accident appears that one engine failed and the other was shut down. The FAA says perhaps you can stake a claim on the moon. And the Harrier is headed for AirVenture. Welcome to Airborne Unlimited. I'm Ashley Hale. The TransAsia ATR-72 that went down Wednesday just after takeoff in Taiwan reportedly lost both engines before impacting a bridge and going into the water. In the United States, we're used to the NTSB issuing routine reports on a scheduled basis as an accident investigation progresses. As we've seen in other recent accidents in Asia, the release of information is not well coordinated, and it's often not substantiated with verifiable evidence. A number of reports have been issued by various news agencies that it appears the right engine suffered a malfunction and the left engine was then shut down by the crew. Although both the cockpit voice recorder and flight data recorder have been recovered, no official report has been issued regarding a possible flight crew error as a contributing factor in the accident. However, it's been reported that TransAsia Airways has begun proficiency tests for all 71 of its ATR pilots. It has also been reported that Canadian and French aviation officials are assisting with the accident investigation. We'll keep you posted as more verifiable information regarding this accident becomes available. Commercial companies that obtain a license to launch a spacecraft to the moon can legally stake a commercial claim on Earth's satellite. This according to the U.S. government. That's the interpretation of a letter from the FAA last December to Bigelow Aerospace. It's reported that the letter says the agency will, quote, leverage the FAA's existing launch licensing authority to encourage private sector investments in space systems by ensuring that commercial activities can be conducted on a non-interference basis, end quote. This could mean that Bigelow could set up an inflatable habitat it has under development on the moon and could reasonably expect to have exclusive rights to not only the area which is occupied, but also related areas that might be mined or otherwise used and explored. There are a few details to consider, like a United Nations treaty signed in 1967 that, among other things, governs activities on the moon. However, we guess these details can be worked out later. After the break, the Harrier is coming back to AirVenture.
There's a difference between charting a steady course and pushing for the ceiling. And for nearly a century, Hartzell Propeller has been defining that difference. It's in our passion for engineering and research and our dedication to testing the limits of performance. We are built on honor. We are Hartzell Propeller.
The KSN 770 is an affordable, WAS-enabled integrated MFD with a flexible hybrid user interface from Bendix King. Get your fingers on the 770's perfect blend of touchscreen and hard buttons. Easily control your GPS navigation, Navcom, weather, traffic, and terrain in any condition. For more information, go to bendixking.com.
Welcome back. If you'd like to suggest a story for Airborne Unlimited, send an email to news-spy@aero-news.net. It's been said that EAA AirVenture has something to suit everybody's interest in aviation. And when the air show starts and the Marines show up in the AV-8B Harrier for an aerial demonstration, everyone pays attention. The EAA has received word that the U.S. Marine Corps has confirmed its AV-8B Harrier jump jet will be returning to Oshkosh for AirVenture 2015 airshow performances. The approved Level 3 aerial demonstration at AirVenture is one of just 9 such public displays that the jump jet will be making in the U.S. this year. Here's some words of warning from those of us who know. Be sure to wear earplugs if you're watching the Harrier demonstration from up close on the flight line. Every Tuesday, we'll be looking ahead to some of the most interesting events in the aviation universe. Here is your weekly Aero-Calendar. Valentine's Day, February 14th, marks the inaugural Valentine's Day fly-in at Spaceport America in Truth or Consequences, New Mexico. It's a pricey affair that requires reservations, but it offers a once-in-a-lifetime experience. Check it out at spaceportamerica.com. Florida airplane homebuilders, this one's for you. On February 21st and 22nd, the EAA is holding a workshop to help you learn the skills to finish building your aircraft. Check the EAA website for details. February 24th through the 26th brings us the NBAA Leadership Conference being held in Tucson, Arizona. It's a great place for business aviation leaders to learn and network with other corporate aviation departments. After these messages, should aviation taxes be put back into aviation?
Sandia introduces the new SAI 340 Quattro standby instrument. TSO'd airspeed, attitude, altitude, and slip. With integral backup battery, safety never looked so good. See it now at www.sandia.aero. AML's patent-pending wireless induction charging system eliminates confusion over those charging cables, cuts down cockpit cable clutter, and allows you and your passengers to fly cordless and eliminate the cable nightmare. www.aviationmodificationleaders.com.
Since the early days of powered flight, pilots have struggled with landing in crosswinds. In fact, crosswinds and wind gusts cause more landing accidents than fog, thunderstorms, and icing combined. That's where the Redbird X-Wind SE comes in. By placing pilots in gusty crosswind conditions for extended periods of time, the X-Wind SE gives instructors all the time they need to teach the pilot the proper techniques for landing in crosswind conditions. For more information on Redbird X-Wind SE and Redbird's entire line of flight training devices, visit www.redbirdflightsimulation.com.
Welcome back. With so much news coming out of the aviation industry, we've summarized some other interesting stories in a brief segment we call Around the Patch. A Washington state legislator wants all aircraft excise tax revenue deposited for aeronautical use only. At this time, only 10% of those collected funds are dedicated to the aeronautics account. His proposal is said to have bipartisan support. Vuzix partners with HeadApp to create an aviation program for M100 smart glasses. The system will create a virtual glass cockpit for the M100 smart glasses wearer that displays vital aircraft performance information. Moon Express has successfully tested a commercial lunar lander in flights at the Kennedy Space Center. This paves the way for the company's goal of developing the world's first private spacecraft. They're competing for Google Lunar X Prize. Leading industry associations sent a letter to the FAA stating that they believe the international issue of curbing aviation greenhouse gas emissions falls under the purview of ICAO. The letter says that the issues should not be addressed at the national or regional level. Well, that's it for today's trip around the patch. Let's move on to the rest of the news. This next report would fit well into the "What were you thinking?" file. The pilot of a Piper Saratoga was arrested in Australia after he allegedly performed a touch-and-go on top of Uluru, the monolith near the center of Australia, formerly known as Ayers Rock. Uluru is sacred to the Aboriginal people of the area, and it's listed as a UNESCO World Heritage Site. According to reports, the 27-year-old pilot's airplane was seized for investigation. Among the charges levied against the pilot are operating an airplane while intoxicated, endangering the safety of an aircraft, and criminal damage of a sacred site. Authorities estimate the cost of cleaning the tire marks off the rock formation to be in the millions of dollars. Well, that's our program for Tuesday, February 10th. Remember to get real-time, 24/7, comprehensive aviation and aerospace news anytime at Aero-News.net. Please join us every weekday along with a growing roster of over 100 outstanding industry organizations and associations for the best in aviation and aerospace news. I'm Ashley Hale. Thanks for watching.